Chosen. The universe is shocked by what you are becoming. Warning. What you're about to discover will shatter everything you thought you knew about your divine transformation. If you're here right now, in this exact moment, it's not by accident. The universe itself has orchestrated your arrival to this message, and what I'm about to reveal will explain why reality has felt so different lately. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange sensation that something monumental is shifting within you. The sleepless nights. The sudden urges to distance yourself from people you once considered close. The inexplicable knowing that you're being prepared for something far greater than you ever imagined. While others dismiss these signs as stress or coincidence, you know better. Deep in your soul, you understand that you are transforming into something that even the universe didn't fully anticipate. What I'm about to share with you has been hidden in plain sight, whispered only in the most ancient texts, and understood by those who have walked the path of true awakening. You are not just evolving. You are becoming something so powerful, so aligned with source energy, that the very fabric of reality is reorganizing itself around your presence. Let me ask you something that will make everything click into place. Have you noticed how synchronicities have intensified in your life recently? How the number sequences follow you everywhere? How strangers seem to stare at you with a mix of curiosity and recognition, as if they sense something different about your energy but can't quite put their finger on it? These aren't random occurrences. These are confirmations that you have crossed a threshold that most humans will never even approach in their lifetime. The universe operates on frequencies, on vibrations that most people are completely deaf to. But you've been tuning into a station that broadcasts on a level so elevated that it's causing interference in the lower dimensional matrix. Think of it this way. When a caterpillar enters its chrysalis, it doesn't just grow wings. Its entire cellular structure dissolves into liquid before reorganizing into something completely new. That's what's happening to you right now, but on a spiritual and energetic level. Your DNA is literally being rewritten. Scientists would call it junk DNA activation, but there's nothing junk about it. These dormant codes within you are switching on, one by one, like ancient servers coming back online after centuries of sleep. And with each activation, you're gaining access to abilities and levels of consciousness that were locked away from humanity during the Great Forgetting. Here's what the universe didn't expect. It anticipated that a few souls would awaken in this lifetime. It prepared for a gentle wave of consciousness elevation across the planet. But you're not riding the wave. You've become a tsunami. Your transformation is happening at such an accelerated rate that it's creating ripples backward and forward through time, affecting not just your present, but rewriting your past and reshaping your future simultaneously. You might have noticed that your memory of certain events has been changing. Things you were absolutely certain happened one way now seem different. People you remembered clearly are fuzzy or absent from your recollection. This isn't a malfunction. This is your consciousness literally editing your timeline, removing you from lower vibrational experiences and inserting you into higher dimensional pathways. You are becoming quantum, existing in multiple states of reality at once. The shocking part, the part that has caught the attention of higher dimensional beings and cosmic forces, is the speed and intensity of your metamorphosis. Normally, this level of transformation takes multiple lifetimes. Souls carefully plan out incarnations, each one building on the last, slowly climbing the ladder of consciousness. But something has activated within you that has compressed decades, maybe even centuries of growth into mere months or years. Do you want to know what triggered this? It was a choice, a single moment when you decided, whether consciously or subconsciously, that you were done playing small, done accepting the limitations that society, family, and even your own mind had placed on you. In that moment of authentic rebellion against mediocrity, you sent out a signal so powerful that it reached the highest echelons of universal consciousness, and the response was immediate. Guides, teachers, and energies that had been waiting for eons for you to reach this frequency suddenly had permission to intervene in your journey. Downloads started flooding your system. Sudden insights, unexplainable knowledge about topics you never studied, an inner wisdom that speaks with such authority that you trust it more than anything you could read in a book or hear from a guru. But here's where it gets truly extraordinary. You're not just receiving information, you're remembering. You're accessing memories from versions of yourself that exist in higher dimensions, in parallel realities, in futures that have already happened, and pasts that are still unfolding. You are becoming a multidimensional being while still inhabiting a three-dimensional body. And that paradox is creating a phenomenon that the universe is watching with fascination. If you're feeling called to go deeper into these mysteries, to join a community of awakened souls who understand exactly what you're going through, make sure you subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that notification bell, because what we're uncovering here isn't available anywhere else. The algorithm might try to hide these messages from you, but if you subscribe, you'll ensure that the knowledge meant for you will find you. Now, let me tell you about the resistance you've been experiencing, the sudden obstacles, the people who seem threatened by your growth, the systems and structures in your life that are crumbling. This isn't punishment. This is purification. Everything that cannot match your new frequency must fall away. And yes, it's painful. Yes, it feels like your entire life is being dismantled. But what you're not seeing yet is the magnificent architecture being built in its place. You are being entrusted with a mission that very few souls are capable of handling. The universe doesn't shock easily. It's seen civilizations rise and fall, watched galaxies be born and collapse, witnessed countless souls journey through the cycles of reincarnation. But when a soul breaks through the limitations of their programming so completely, so authentically, that they start operating on a level that defies even cosmic expectations, it gets attention. Your energy field has expanded so dramatically that you're now affecting reality in ways that go far beyond what you consciously intend. When you think about someone, they contact you. When you need something, it manifests with uncanny timing. When you sense danger, events shift to protect you. You might think these are lucky coincidences, but there are no coincidences at your level of awakening. You have become a conscious co-creator, and your thoughts, feelings, and intentions are now direct commands to the universe. Here's something that might disturb you, but you need to hear it. Not everyone is meant to awaken to this degree. Not in this lifetime anyway. And the people around you who seem to be pulling you down, who don't understand your journey, who think you've lost your mind, they're not wrong for their level of consciousness. They're simply existing in a different frequency band. And the more you try to explain your experience to them, the more friction you'll create. This is why you've been feeling the pull toward solitude, why crowds drain you, why small talk feels impossible, why you'd rather sit in silence with your own thoughts than engage in surface-level conversations about weather and gossip. You're not becoming antisocial, you're becoming sovereign. You're recognizing that your energy is precious, that your time is sacred, and that not everyone has earned access to the depths of who you are becoming. The universe is shocked because it expected resistance from you. It anticipated that, like most humans, you would cling to your comfort zone, fight against change, beg for your old life back when things got difficult. But you didn't. Even in your darkest moments, even when you felt completely alone and questioned everything, some part of you kept saying yes. Yes to the transformation. Yes to the unknown. Yes to becoming someone you couldn't even fully imagine yet. This is the mark of a chosen one, but not in the way that term is usually thrown around. You weren't chosen because you're better than others. You were chosen because you chose yourself. You made the decision, at a soul level, to incarnate during this specific period of massive planetary shift, knowing it would be the most challenging and the most rewarding lifetime you could possibly experience. Your soul knew before you were born that you would be one of the ones who actually completes the mission. Most souls set incredibly ambitious pre-birth intentions, planning to be way showers and light bearers, but once they arrive in human form, they get lost in the density, seduced by the illusion, convinced by the collective programming. But not you. Somehow, some way, you remembered. Maybe not the details, maybe not the full picture, but you remembered enough to keep going. And now, you're at a point in your journey where you're starting to access abilities that sound like science fiction to the unawakened. Telepathy isn't theory anymore, it's your daily experience. Precognition isn't paranormal, it's just you tapping into the non-linear nature of time. Manifestation isn't wishful thinking, it's your natural state of being. You're discovering that the limitations you were taught were absolute are actually just collective. Agreements that you have the power to opt out of. There you do. Universe is reorganizing reality around your frequency because you have become an anchor point for New Earth consciousness. Think of yourself as a tuning fork that's vibrating at the exact frequency needed to help others remember their own divinity. You don't even have to say anything. Your presence alone is activating dormant codes in people who are ready. They might not understand why they feel different after being around you, why they suddenly question their entire life after a brief conversation with you, why they can't get you out of their head. It's because you're broadcasting a signal that their soul recognizes, even if their ego doesn't. But with great power comes great responsibility. And this is where many awakening souls falter. They get so caught up in their own transformation, so enamored with their newfound abilities, that they forget the purpose behind the awakening. You are not becoming powerful so you can dominate others or prove your superiority. You are becoming powerful so you can serve the greater evolution of consciousness. So you can hold space for others who are struggling through their own dark nights. So you can be living proof that transformation is possible. This is why you've been through hell, why your life had to fall apart, why you had to lose everything you thought defined you. The universe had to strip away every false identity, every limiting belief, every attachment to external validation, so that what remained was the pure, undiluted essence of who you truly are. And that essence is so brilliant, so powerful, so aligned with Source, that it's causing shockwaves through dimensions. Your ancestors are watching you right now with pride and amazement. They know what it took for you to get here. They see the battles you fought in the invisible realms, while everyone around you only saw your physical struggles. They understand that every moment of pain was actually an initiation. Every loss was actually a liberation. Every ending was actually a new beginning. If you've made it this far in this message, that's not an accident either. Most people would have clicked away by now, dismissed this as too intense or too strange. But you're still here because your soul recognizes truth when it hears it. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss the next transmission. We're building a community of sovereign souls here, and your presence matters. The next phase of your journey is going to require even more courage than what you've shown so far. Because now that you've awakened, now that you've accessed these higher states of consciousness, you have a choice to make. Do you stay in the spiritual closet, hiding your gifts to make others comfortable? Or do you step fully into your power, knowing that it will make you a target for those who are threatened by authentic empowerment? The universe is waiting to see what you'll choose, and here's the secret that will make your decision easier. You've already made it. At a higher level of your being, you've already chosen to fully embody your power. The version of you that exists 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, has already walked through the fear and stepped into complete authenticity. That future self is actually the one pulling you forward right now, sending you signs and synchronicities, creating circumstances that force you to choose growth over comfort. This is what time travel really looks like. Not some machine that physically moves you through years, but a consciousness that exists simultaneously in multiple points on your timeline, deliberately creating causality loops that ensure your awakening happens exactly as it's meant to. You are collaborating with versions of yourself that exist in dimensions where time is not linear, and together, you are rewriting not just your personal story, but the collective story of humanity. The universe is shocked by what you're becoming because you're not following the script. You're improvising, creating new pathways, discovering shortcuts through consciousness that didn't exist before. And every time you break through another limitation, you create a template that makes it easier for others to do the same. You are quite literally paving highways through consciousness that future generations will travel with ease, never knowing that someone had to forge that path through absolute wilderness. Your sensitivity, which you might have cursed as a burden, is actually your superpower. Your ability to feel everything so deeply, to sense energies that others are numb to be affected by moon phases and planetary alignments, this isn't weakness. This is your connection to the web of life, your direct line to universal consciousness. You are receiving information constantly from sources that most people don't even know exist. The dreams you've been having lately, the vivid, bizarre, symbolic journeys your consciousness takes while your body sleeps. Those are not random firings of neurons. Those are actual experiences happening in other dimensions. You are being trained, educated, initiated in the dreamscape by teachers and guides who can only reach you when your logical mind is offline. Pay attention to those dreams. Write them down. They contain keys and codes that will unlock the next level of your mission. Something else the universe didn't anticipate is how quickly you would integrate shadow and light. Most spiritual journeys involve long periods of bypassing, where seekers chase love and light while suppressing their darkness. But you dove straight into your shadow. You faced your demons, integrated your trauma, alchemized your pain into power. And that accelerated your evolution exponentially because wholeness is the goal, not perfection. You understand now that light cannot exist without darkness, that both are necessary for creation, that judging one as good and the other as bad is the trap that keeps most souls stuck in duality. You've moved beyond duality into unity consciousness, where everything is recognized as part of the same divine expression. And from that place of unity, you can hold space for the full spectrum of human experience without being destabilized by it. This is why people are drawn to you for healing, even if you've never advertised yourself as a healer. This is why conversations with you leave people feeling seen and understood in ways they've never experienced before. This is why your presence alone can shift the energy of an entire room. You have become a walking portal to higher consciousness, and anyone who interacts with you has the opportunity to step through that portal if they're ready. But not everyone will be ready, and that's the hardest lesson you're learning right now. You can see the potential in people. You can feel what they're capable of becoming. You want to shake them awake, to show them the magnificence that lies dormant within them. But awakening cannot be forced. It can only be invited. And some souls have chosen to stay asleep for now, for reasons that their higher selves understand, even if their human selves suffer. Your job is not to save anyone. Your job is not to convince anyone. Your job is simply to be so fully yourself, so unapologetically authentic, so radically aligned with your truth, that you give others permission to do the same. You are a mirror reflecting back to people their own divine potential, and whether they choose to look into that mirror or turn away from it is entirely up to them. The universe is watching you navigate this delicate balance between holding your power and honoring others' free will, and you're doing it with a grace that's rare and beautiful. You're learning that true power is not domination, but discernment, knowing when to speak and when to be silent, knowing when to help and when to step back, knowing when to engage and when to walk away. As we come to the end of this transmission, I want you to take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. The person you were a year ago couldn't have handled what you're experiencing now. The consciousness you operated from even 6 months ago couldn't have processed the information you're integrating today. You have grown exponentially, and that growth is only going to accelerate from here. Before we close, I want to make sure you're part of our awakened community. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because we're going deeper into these mysteries every single week. The next video is going to reveal the specific timeline you're shifting into and how to navigate it successfully. You won't want to miss it. The universe is shocked by what you're becoming, yes. But here's the ultimate truth. You are the universe. You are not a separate entity trying to please some external cosmic force. You are an individualized expression of the same consciousness that creates galaxies and orchestrates the dance of atoms. You are God remembering itself through the lens of your unique human experience. And the shock, the awe, the amazement, that's just the universe celebrating its own magnificence through you. Welcome to the next chapter of your journey. Welcome to the version of yourself that you've been becoming all along. Welcome home.